Night baseball star and former Florida Marlin Miguel Cabrera was picked up for DUI on the Treasure Coast.
Miguel Cabrera, a baseball hero on the field, had to go through a lot of trouble due to his drinking problems. Cabrera's alcohol addiction began to erode the strong reputation he had earned, tarnishing the image of a player who once seemed to be the greatest. But before we dive into his story, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Jose Miguel Cabrera Torres is a legendary figure in Major League Baseball. Hailing from Venezuela, Cabrera made his mark as a first baseman, third baseman, and designated hitter, playing most notably for the Florida Marlins and the Detroit Tigers. His MLB debut came in 2003, and from that point on, he quickly became one of the game's brightest stars. Cabrera's career is filled with incredible achievements. He won the American League Most Valuable Player award twice, proving his dominance in the league. He also claimed the AL batting champion title 4 times and was selected as an MLB All-Star an impressive 12 times. Cabrera's status as one of the greatest hitters of all time is undeniable. However, his reputation took a serious hit when his battle with alcohol addiction came to light. In the early hours of October 3, 2009, Miguel Cabrera found himself at the center of a troubling incident. The police were called to his home, leading to a series of events that revealed the darker side of his personal life. Cabrera had returned home around 6 a.m. after a night of heavy drinking at the Townsend Hotel, a well-known spot in the area. What followed was a heated argument with his wife, escalating to the point where authorities had to step in. Later that same day, Cabrera appeared at a game at Comerica Park, but something was noticeably off. He had scratches on his face, which immediately caught the attention of reporters and fans alike. When questioned, Cabrera brushed off the concerns, claiming the scratches were from his dog, and refused to go into any more detail. However, the story didn't end there. It was later revealed that when Cabrera was tested, his blood alcohol level was an alarming 26, more than 3 times the legal limit for driving. On January 21, 2010, it came to light that Cabrera had taken a significant step toward addressing his struggles with alcohol. It was reported that he had spent 3 months in an alcohol abuse treatment center, determined to get his life back on track. Cabrera shared that he had not touched alcohol since his arrest in October 2009, and he was committed to continuing his treatment, even as he prepared for spring training and the upcoming regular season. However, Cabrera's fight with alcohol was far from over. On February 16, 2011, he was arrested in Florida, this time on suspicion of drunken driving and resisting arrest. The incident was a stark reminder of the challenges he continued to face in his recovery. Ultimately, the matter was settled with Cabrera, entering a no-contest plea to the driving under the influence charge, while the resisting arrest charge was dropped. He was sentenced but managed to avoid additional jail time. But this wasn't the end of his troubles. In 2018, Cabrera found himself in the middle of a legal battle that added another layer of complexity to his personal life. The case was brought against him by his former mistress, Belkis Mariela Rodriguez, who had filed a lawsuit in August 2017. The dispute centered around the amount of child support Cabrera should pay for the 2 children they had together. Rodriguez argued that given Cabrera's substantial $30 million annual salary, she was entitled to receive $100,000 a month in child support. At the time, Cabrera had been voluntarily paying her $20,000 a month without any court order, but in the summer of 2017, he decided to reduce that amount by $5,000. This led to the legal challenge, as Rodriguez believed she deserved a larger sum given Cabrera's significant earnings. The case eventually made its way to the Orange County Circuit Court, where a decision was made in December 2018. The court ruled that Cabrera would continue to pay $20,000 a month in child support to Rodriguez, along with additional expenses and her attorney's fees. His Venezuelan crisis, too, made it to the headlines. After staying quiet for a long time about the worsening crisis in his homeland, Cabrera finally spoke out against the Venezuelan government. He had reached a breaking point, exhausted by the constant fear for his family's safety and the financial demands to protect them from the violence plaguing the country. On the first day of the All-Star break, Cabrera posted a video on his Instagram where he expressed his deep frustration and concern. In the video, originally in Spanish but later translated to English, Cabrera shared his dismay with a heavy heart. "I am tired of hearing that they are going to kidnap my mother," he said, "and I don't know whether it is a policeman or a bad guy. I don't know who they are. All I know is if I don't pay, those people disappear." His words painted a grim picture of the situation in Venezuela, where he felt the need to pay off people just to keep his family safe. Cabrera's comments shined a light on the dire economic conditions in Venezuela and his deep desire to see change in his homeland. Although he had been advised in the past to stay out of politics, Cabrera now felt it was essential to speak up. He described Venezuela as being kidnapped and pleaded for his family's safety. "Please do not hurt my family. I am begging you." Despite his strong words, Cabrera clarified that he didn't see himself as a rebel. He was simply a concerned citizen who wanted to help improve the living conditions in Venezuela. He also pushed back against accusations that he was being paid by people in the U.S. to criticize the Venezuelan government. Defending his actions, Cabrera highlighted his efforts to support his people, including sending medicine and food to those in need and calling for fair elections in the country. Cabrera's public plea for change was reminiscent of a tragic event 13 years earlier, when another Venezuelan baseball player, Ugoeth Urbina, experienced the horror of his mother being kidnapped and held for a $6 million ransom. Cabrera's bold stance, along with those of other Venezuelan MLB players, reflected the growing frustration and concern over the political and humanitarian crisis gripping Venezuela. Under the presidency of Nicolas Maduro, the country had spiraled into chaos, with triple-digit inflation, severe shortages of food and medicine, and a surge in violent crime. Civil unrest had already claimed the lives of at least 75 people, and the situation showed no signs of improvement. As one of Venezuela's most beloved baseball icons, Cabrera's decision to speak out marked a significant shift. His words were not just a cry for help, but a desperate call for intervention, hoping to restore some sense of normalcy in a nation caught in the grip of political and social turmoil. His career, on the other hand, was a remarkable one.
Cabrera on his way to third, the throw into left field. Cabrera's got a stolen base and he's gonna score. Look at him.
Cabrera made his major league debut on June 20th, 2003, at just 20 years old, and he wasted no time making a name for himself. In his very first game, Cabrera hit a walk-off home run against the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, becoming just the third player since 1900 to hit a game-winning home run in his debut, following Billy Parker in 1972 and Josh Bard in 2002. It was a sign of things to come. Cabrera quickly established himself as a key player for the Marlins. By July, his impressive performance earned him the role of the team's cleanup hitter. His postseason contributions were crucial in helping the Marlins win the World Series against the New York Yankees. His clutch play even landed him on the cover of ESPN The Magazine during the offseason. Although he finished fifth in the NL Rookie of the Year voting, with his teammate Dontrelle Willis taking the award, Cabrera had already made a significant impact. During the NLDS against the Giants, Cabrera batted .286 with 3 RBIs. In the NLCS against the Chicago Cubs, he stepped up even more, hitting .333 with 3 home runs and 6 RBIs, including key home runs in Game 1 and Game 7 that helped the Marlins secure important leads. In the 2003 World Series, Cabrera faced legendary pitcher Roger Clemens for the first time in Game 4. After Clemens threw a 92-mile fastball near his chin, Cabrera responded by hitting a 2-run home run later in the at-bat, giving the Marlins an early lead. The Marlins went on to win that game 4-3 and eventually took the series in 6 games, securing the championship. In his rookie season, Cabrera hit .268 with 12 home runs, 62 RBIs, 21 doubles, and 3 triples in 87 games, earning NL Rookie of the Month honors for both July and September. His success continued in 2004 when he recorded his 100th career hit on April 20th. That season, he batted .294 with 33 home runs, 112 RBIs, and 101 runs, while also earning his first All-Star appearance. Cabrera spent the entire 2004 season playing in the outfield, where he had 13 outfield assists but also committed 9 errors. Tied for the most among NL outfielders, he still made 262 putouts and 284 fielding chances. In 2005, Cabrera finished second in the National League in hits with 198, batting .323 with 33 home runs, 43 doubles, and 116 RBIs. He was selected to his second consecutive All-Star game, along with teammates Paul Lo Duca and Dontrelle Willis, and won his first Silver Slugger award. Cabrera's 33 home runs made him the youngest player in MLB history to achieve back-to-back 30-homer seasons at 22 years and 143 days old, surpassing Albert Pujols, who had done it at 22 years and 223 days. Cabrera went on to have 4 seasons with at least 100 RBIs, the most in Marlins history, and remains the only player in franchise history with consecutive 100 RBI seasons. Before the 2006 season began, Cabrera represented Venezuela in the inaugural World Baseball Classic, where the team finished 7th. On June 22, 2006, Cabrera pulled off an impressive feat during a game against the Baltimore Orioles. Pitcher Todd Williams was attempting to intentionally walk Cabrera, but his first pitch got a little too close to the plate. Cabrera reached out and singled it to right center field, driving in the winning run in the 10th inning and giving the Marlins a 6-5 lead. However, the season wasn't all smooth sailing for Cabrera. On July 9th, during a road game against the New York Mets, Cabrera got into an altercation with his teammate Scott Olson. The trouble started when Mets catcher Paul Lo Duca hit a grounder that glanced off Cabrera's glove, allowing a run to score and Lo Duca to reach second base. As the Marlins came off the field, Olson was visibly upset and shouted something at Cabrera. Cabrera responded by poking his finger at Olson in the dugout, which led to a brief scuffle before teammates quickly separated them. Despite these challenges, Cabrera's performance on the field was outstanding. He was voted to the National League All-Star team for the 3rd time and participated in his first home run derby, finishing in 3rd place with 15 home runs. With strong support from teammates Josh Willingham and Dan Uggla, Cabrera ended the season with an impressive .339 batting average, 26 home runs, and 114 RBIs. His stellar play earned him his 3rd consecutive All-Star selection and his 2nd Silver Slugger award. Cabrera was in a tight race for the National League batting title with Pittsburgh Pirates shortstop Freddie Sanchez. In an effort to give Cabrera more chances to secure the title, Marlins manager Joe Girardi had him bat leadoff in the final game of the season. Although Cabrera ultimately finished 2nd to Sanchez, he still had an outstanding season, with a .568 slugging percentage and a .430 on-base percentage. On February 17, 2007, Cabrera won his arbitration hearing, securing a 1-year contract worth $7.4 million. That season, he made his 4th consecutive All-Star appearance, although an injured left shoulder prevented him from participating in the home run derby. He was limited to a pinch hit at-bat in the All-Star game, where he struck out against Dan Herron. Later in the season, on September 4th, Cabrera recorded his 500th RBI, becoming the 3rd youngest player in MLB history to reach that milestone, following Hall of Famers Mel Ott and Ted Williams. On September 15th, in a game against the Colorado Rockies, Cabrera drove in his 100th RBI of the season in the 1st inning, marking his 4th consecutive year with at least 100 RBIs. He capped off that game with a grand slam, driving the ball 438 feet into the center field trees. In 2007, Cabrera won the NL Player of the Week award twice and continued to climb the Marlins franchise leaderboards, surpassing Gary Sheffield and Derek Lee for 2nd in home runs and moving into 3rd in RBIs. He finished the season with career highs in both home runs and RBIs, while maintaining a .320 batting average. He then took his excellence to the Detroit Tigers.
This is 16th 2-run homer of the year, and as I said, you've really got to make great pitches.
On December 5th, 2007, the Marlins made a big trade, sending Cabrera and pitcher Dontrelle Willis to the Detroit Tigers. In return, the Marlins received a group of players, including pitchers Andrew Miller, Dallas Traherne, Eulogio De La Cruz, and Berg Badenhop, as well as outfielder Cameron Maybin and catcher Mike Rabelo. A few months later, on March 22, 2008, Cabrera signed a huge contract extension with the Tigers. The 8-year deal was worth $152.3 million, making it the 4th largest contract in baseball at the time, behind those of Alex Rodriguez, Derek Jeter, and Manny Ramirez. It was also the largest contract in Tigers history, surpassing the previous record set by Miguel Ordóñez in 2005. Cabrera was set to earn $11.3 million in 2008, with an average of $20 million per year through 2015. Cabrera made his debut with the Tigers on March 31, 2008, in a home game against the Kansas City Royals. Playing third base, he hit a solo home run in his third at-bat off Royals pitcher Gil Miche. Although Cabrera finished the game 1 for 5 with 2 strikeouts, the Tigers lost 5-4 in 11 innings. Not long after, on April 22nd, Tigers manager Jim Leyland announced that Cabrera would switch to playing first base, while Carlos Guillen would take over at third base. Cabrera had a strong first season with the Tigers, being named the American League Player of the Month for July after hitting .330 with 8 home runs and 31 RBIs. On September 7th, he reached a milestone by recording his 1,000th career hit, a home run off Twins pitcher Glenn Perkins. Cabrera ended the 2008 season with a career-high 37 home runs, leading the American League and making him the youngest AL home run champion since Troy Glaus in 2000. He also set a new career high with 127 RBIs. Cabrera became one of just 6 players to drive in at least 100 runs in each of the past 5 seasons. He also represented Venezuela in the 2009 World Baseball Classic, alongside Tigers teammates Miguel Ordóñez, Carlos Guillen, and Armando Galarraga. Cabrera kicked off the 2009 season with a bang, hitting a grand slam on opening day that traveled over 420 feet at Comerica Park, helping the Tigers secure a 15-2 win over the Texas Rangers. Later that year, on August 23rd, Cabrera hit his 200th career home run during a game against the Oakland A's, making him only the 4th Venezuelan player to reach that milestone. Throughout the 2009 season, Cabrera continued to shine, finishing with a .324 batting average, which was 4th in the AL. He also tied his career high with 198 hits and recorded 103 RBIs, marking the 6th straight year he achieved 100 RBIs. On May 28th, he hit 3 home runs in a game against the Oakland Athletics, his first career 3-homer game, shortly after returning to the team following the birth of his daughter. Cabrera was selected as an AL All-Star for the first time since joining the American League and the 5th time in his career. He was chosen to start in place of Justin Morneau, who was sidelined with a concussion. Cabrera also competed in the Home Run Derby, finishing 4th with 12 home runs. Unfortunately, on September 26th, during a game against the Cleveland Indians, Cabrera suffered a high ankle sprain while getting back to first base on a pickoff attempt. Although he initially tried to play through the injury, the Tigers eventually decided to shut him down for the rest of the season. Despite the setback, Cabrera finished the 2010 season with a .328 batting average, a career-high 38 home runs, and 126 RBIs. He also led the AL in intentional walks with 32, partly due to the lack of a strong hitter behind him in the lineup. On defense, he led all AL first basemen in errors with 13. In the 2010 AL MVP voting, Cabrera finished as the runner-up to Josh Hamilton of the Texas Rangers. In 2011, Cabrera made his 2nd All-Star team with the American League and his 6th overall appearance in the All-Star game. On July 15th, he hit his 1,500th career hit against the Chicago White Sox. Cabrera had a fantastic season, batting .244 to win the AL batting title. He led the AL in on-base percentage and doubles. Cabrera also reached 100 RBIs for the 8th straight year, finishing with 105, and hit 30 home runs for the 5th straight year. He led the league in walks but had a tough season defensively, leading AL first baseman in errors. In September, Cabrera's strong performance helped the Tigers make it to the playoffs and the AL Championship Series. He hit .400 with 4 doubles, 3 home runs, and 7 RBIs in the ALCS, though the Tigers lost to the Texas Rangers in 6 games. By the end of 2011, Cabrera had the 6th best career batting average and slugging percentage among active players. In 2012, after the Tigers signed Prince Fielder, Cabrera moved back to third base despite an injury scare during spring training. He returned to play on opening day and quickly made an impact. On April 7th, Cabrera hit 2 home runs in a game against the Red Sox and was named AL Player of the Week. By April 27th, he achieved his 1,000th RBI, becoming one of the youngest players to do so. In 2012, Cabrera reached several milestones. He hit his 300th career home run, became the first Tiger to hit 30 home runs in 5 consecutive seasons, and won the Triple Crown with a 330 batting average, 44 home runs, and 139 RBIs. He also led the league in several categories and was named AL MVP. Although the Tigers lost the World Series to the Giants, Cabrera was celebrated for his incredible season. In 2013, Cabrera continued his outstanding performance, winning the AL Player of the Month for May and hitting his 350th career home run. He became the first player to have at least 30 home runs and 90 RBIs before the All-Star break. Cabrera hit .348 for the season, winning his 3rd straight AL batting title. He also led the league in on-base percentage, slugging percentage, OPS, and OPS+. Cabrera was named AL MVP for the 2nd consecutive year and received the Sporting News MLB Player of the Year award for the 2nd year in a row. He then hit a record by having the largest contract in the history of the MLB. With Prince Fielder being traded, the Tigers decided to move Cabrera back to first base for the 2014 season. On March 28, 2014, Cabrera signed an impressive 8-year contract extension worth $248 million. When added to the $44 million left on his old deal, the total was $292 million, making it the largest contract in baseball history at that time, surpassing Alex Rodriguez's $275 million deal from 2007. This record has since been broken by Giancarlo Stanton's $325 million contract in 2014. Some analysts criticized the deal, calling it the worst. On April 4th, Cabrera hit his 2,000th career hit against the Baltimore Orioles. He became the 9th player to reach 2,000 hits before turning 31 and the 7th youngest overall. By July 6th, Cabrera had been voted to start at first base for the American League in the All-Star game, marking his 9th All-Star selection and 2nd consecutive start. He hit a 2-run home run in the first inning of the game, his first All-Star home run. Cabrera won the ESP Award for Best MLB Player for the 2nd year in a row in 2014. On September 7th, he recorded his 100th RBI of the season, achieving this milestone for the 11th straight season. He joined a select group of players to do so, including Lou Gehrig and Jimmy Fox. He was named the AL Co-Player of the Week for the week of September 1st to 7, hitting $500 with 2 doubles, 5 home runs, 9 RBIs, and 8 runs scored. Cabrera was also named the American League Player of the Month for September, hitting .379 with 10 doubles, 8 home runs, 18 RBIs, and 39 hits. Cabrera finished the regular season with a .313 batting average, 25 home runs, 109 RBIs, and a league-leading 52 doubles. He was also among the few players to achieve at least 20 home runs, 30 doubles, 75 RBIs, and 80 runs scored for the 9th consecutive season. In October 2014, Cabrera underwent surgery to remove a bone spur from his right ankle and repair a stress fracture in his right foot. Despite these injuries, he had a strong start to the 2015 season. On May 16th, Cabrera hit his 400th career home run, setting a record for Venezuelan-born players, and on May 21st, he recorded his 1,400th career RBI. He was placed on the disabled list for the first time in his career in July 2015 due to a left calf strain. Despite this, he was selected for the All-Star game, although he couldn't play due to his injury. He was later named the American League Player of the Week for the week of April 5th to 12th and continued to achieve milestones, such as his 500th career double and 2,400th hit. In 2016, Cabrera finished with a .316 batting average, 38 home runs, and 108 RBIs. He also led the league in intentional walks and hit into the most double plays. He won his 7th Silver Slugger Award, his 3rd at first base, making him one of the few players with 7 or more Silver Slugger Awards. Cabrera had a tough time with back issues and stiffness throughout the 2017 season, starting from the World Baseball Classic. On April 22nd, he went on the 10-day disabled list with a right groin strain, but came back on May 2nd and hit his 450th career home run that same night. By June 2nd, he reached his 1,000th career extra base hit, becoming the 39th player in MLB history to do so. On July 20th, he hit his 1/600th career RBI, making him the 36th player to achieve that milestone. Cabrera missed a few games in August due to lower back stiffness, and on August 24th, he got into a heated exchange with Yankees catcher Austin Romine, leading to a bench-clearing brawl. Both players were ejected, and Cabrera was later suspended for 7 games, which was reduced to 6 after an appeal. He started serving the suspension on September 2nd. By September 24, Cabrera was diagnosed with 2 herniated discs in his back, a condition he likely played through all season. Despite this, the Tigers didn't expect him to need off-season surgery. Cabrera finished 2017 with a career-low .249 batting average and .399 slugging percentage, hitting 16 home runs and driving in 60 runs in 130 games. In 2018, Cabrera's season was cut short. On May 4th, he was placed on the 10-day disabled list with a right hamstring strain. Then on June 12th, he injured his left biceps while swinging and had to leave the game. He ended up rupturing his left biceps tendon, which required surgery and kept him out for the rest of the season. He finished with a .299 batting average, 3 home runs, and 22 RBIs in just 38 games. Then came the time to end it all.
Biggie was outstanding in his skirt. Wow.
In 2019, Cabrera struggled with knee problems, which led the Tigers to use him as a full-time designated hitter by early June. He hit .282 for the season with 12 home runs and 59 RBIs in 139 games, but his .398 slugging percentage was the lowest of his career. On August 29, 2020, Cabrera had a great doubleheader against the Twins, hitting 3 times and passing former Tiger Charlie Gehringer to move into 50th place on the all-time MLB hits list with 2,141. He became one of only 16 players to rank in the top 50 for hits, home runs, and RBIs. The next day, he recorded his 2,000th hit as a Tiger, joining a select group of Tigers to reach that milestone. In the shortened 22-20 season, Cabrera hit 250, the second lowest average of his career, with 10 home runs and 35 RBIs in 57 games. By the end of the season, he ranked 23rd in doubles, 23rd in total bases, 24th in RBIs, 30th in home runs, and 46th in hits. He had the slowest sprint speed among Major League DHs. On April 1st, 2021, Cabrera hit a home run in his first at-bat of the season, making him the second Tigers player to achieve 350 home runs and 2,000 hits with the team. On April 11th, he went on the 10-day injured list with a left bicep strain, but returned on April 25th. By May 12th, he surpassed Omar Vizquel for the most career hits by a Venezuelan-born player. On June 1st, he hit his 400th double with the Tigers, and by June 15, his 585th double put him in the all-time MLB top 20. In August 2021, Cabrera hit his 500th career home run, becoming the 28th player in MLB history to reach that milestone and the first as a Tiger. He also passed Ichiro Suzuki for the most career hits in MLB interleague play. By September 20th, he reached his 1/800th RBI, placing him 20th on the all-time list. He finished the 2021 season with a .256 average, 15 home runs, and 75 RBIs. In 2022, Cabrera hit his 3,000th career hit on April 23rd, joining the elite club of players with 3,000 hits, 500 home runs, and 600 doubles. He also had his 600th double on May 7th and moved into the top 25 in career hits and doubles by June 28th. Cabrera was named to the 2022 MLB All-Star Game as an honorary selection. He finished the season with a .254 average, 5 home runs, and 43 RBIs. Cabrera announced he would retire after the 2023 season, and he confirmed his plans in February 2023. In his final season, he played 98 games, hitting .257 with 20 doubles, 4 home runs, and 34 RBIs. His final major league inning ended with an unassisted putout at first base. Cabrera retired with a .306 average, 3,174 hits, 511 home runs, 607 doubles, and 1,881 RBIs. In postseason play, he batted .278 with 13 home runs and 38 RBIs in 55 games. That is it for this one. But if you happen to like MLB Legends, make sure to check out our latest videos on our channel Baseball Icons. I'm sure you will love it. Oh, and while you are at it, drop a comment telling us who to cover next, and don't forget to subscribe.